Okay, welcome everyone on YouTube. I have about 10 minutes. My last video, again, stopped abruptly. The previous one was the battery died, and this last one was the SD card was full. So it's now a couple of days later again. I think I've finally cracked it. I think I've got the front brake disc set up, front brake set up. So let's go back this way and down a hill. But I promised I wouldn't try it out until I was on stream, so I haven't tried it yet. I am now about to try it, see what happens. Okay, yep, that works. That locks up the front brake really quite easily. Oh, flipping out, yes. Okay, that is definitely working. So let's chuck it down a hill and hope the front brake is working, because the back one isn't working for shit right now. So I've only been able to free up probably about 10 minutes of space on the SD card. So this really will be a quick once around the block test. So let's chuck it down a hill and see how it gets on. Okay, there's nothing behind me, which is always a good start. Yep, that's still kind of wanting to lock up, isn't it? Yep, chalk and cheese in terms of actual braking performance. There will probably be a little bit of fine-tuning perhaps, or at least just getting used to it. It's very, very different. Yeah, I've never used a disc brake before, and they feel so completely different to an old school caliper and block. So it's much softer. You don't get that hard sort of impact, well, not impact, but that hard chunking feeling when the block hits. Nice Harley. Yeah, it's a very different sensation. I've been looking at motorbikes recently. I've been thinking of getting a motorbike again. I used to have one. Well, I've had 3 bikes over the years, and I'm really tempted to get one again. My friend has just passed his compulsory basic training, and chatting to him about what he wants to get and his enthusiasm has just totally rubbed off. And yeah, I mean, for the last couple of years I've been half thinking about it. It's just the last time I looked up the bike I used to have, when I sold it for 850 quid, they now go for about 7,000 to 8,000. If you're paying 7,000 to 8,000, you can look at some really serious bikes. The Ducati Panigale, I think you can start looking at, older ones. The Hypermotard SP 950 SP, you can start looking at those used. The Indian Scout Bobber. There are some really nice bikes. They're all very different. Like, one's a super bike, the other is a sort of hypermoto bike, and the last one is a cruiser. So they're all very, very different bikes, but they all bring something specific or unique to the party. Yeah, okay, this brake, it's really good. I like it. Now I'll do the back one. I've already kind of sneakily started this a little bit. So I'll hopefully have enough SD card left to explain what I've started, and then I'll just have to crack. No, I can't crack on with it, otherwise I won't be filming doing the back disc. I'll have to figure something out. Right, anyway, I'm C5 Live UK. I'll see you around. If you watched it this far, comment brake disc. Why not? Add brake disc in your comment, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye. Like, share, subscribe. So far on the back wheel, I have drilled out the holes. I've shown some of this on the video, on previous video, where I had dremelled out the serial number inside here. Then I used this spacer, let me adjust this a little bit, around the inside of that hub. I'd put 2 pieces of wrapped insulating tape around it twice to hold this in place, then drilled north and south and bolted it into place. Then, drilled north and south, then yes, removed the tape, bolted this into place. Did I remove the tape? No, I didn't remove the tape, I left it on there. I bolted it into place so it wouldn't move, and then drilled out the other holes. I started with a 4mm bit, because that will fit inside the thread, and then finished off by enlarging it to a 5mm bit. The plastic is very thin, drills through very quickly, so be careful of that. The insert, I need to check if this insert is supposed to be flush, or if this is about 2mm proud, if that's a problem or not. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but whether there's going to be issues fitting in once I start messing about in here. So yes, if I turn it over, you can see I've drilled out the other holes. So I'm literally at this point just testing if I need to adjust the holes at all. So if make sure that everything just sort of fits. Do a dry fit of the disc. And yes, helpfully, these, and I'm being sarcastic, these Allen bolts use different size Allen key. Again, I can't remember what size this one is. I think it's 3mm. Yeah, 3mm. So for this entire project, I will have used 3, 4 and 5mm Allen keys. I mean, I say I'm doing this as a dry fit, but ultimately, if these all fit, I don't think I need to take it off necessarily, and this can just be the fit. I probably only have a couple of minutes left on the SD card at best, so I may well cut off mid-sentence or something, which is always good for the lols. Somewhere in here is the last, oh here we go, the last 2 nuts. This one. Then I'm going to have to make some space on the SD card again in order to film fitting the rear brake. Hopefully that one will go a lot more smoothly than the front one did. So yes, once again, the front one was essentially a piece of piss. It would have been an hour or two's work. Apart from the fact that the spacers were fucked. They were the wrong, they weren't all even. I've messaged the guy that sells the kit, and he said he'll send me some new spacers, but that was several days ago. I hope I don't have to chase him up. That would be very bad for him, considering the amount of hours that I lost as a result of the spacers not being machined correctly, or just cut correctly. So I hope he just follows up on that quite quickly. So I'm just doing a very loose sort of tighten of the nuts at present, so there'll still be play in the rotor, and then I'll do them up in like you would do up wheels on a split rim, nuts on a split rim. And you sort of go across opposite like that. Right, so checking, so I'm just going to look in here, I'll eyeball it to begin with and make sure that this looks like it's centered. It'd be amazing how well you can do just with good old-fashioned eyeballing it, in terms of close enough for rock and roll. Right, tilt this down a bit. So I've just done this one, tighten this one down by hand, and this one, and this one, now this one, and this one. Check again that they look centered. It's a little bit off. I'll give it a shove. There we go. Right, now I will use an actual Allen key and give it a bit of torque. Starting there and then across. Is that loose? Oh, that one's gone loose again. This one. And this one. And this one. And the last one. Then I'll probably need to go back and do them again. Right. Yep, that's a nice elbow torque measurement. My calibrated elbow. So this is wanting to move a little bit, so I'm going to need to jam something in there. I can't find my long nose pliers. I know what I can use. Somewhere I've got a pair of snips. They should do the job just for now. I just need to fit in there enough to stop it from turning. There we go. Yep, that's doing the job nicely. Right, that was number 2. I'll do number 3. Right, to opposite that one. I'm not cranking this down. Paul Grice's video has said that you don't need to really crank them down, just make sure that they're not going to come undone. And last one, number 5, no, well not last one, last pair, number 5. So I know I'm bodging this a little bit, I really should be using a pair of long nose pliers. But last one, this is number 6. In hindsight, so if I end up having to take these off at all, I think what I will do is I will use a dot